Good afternoon. Thank you for joining today's webinar session on how to manage corrective actions in a digital environment with the help of quality assurance anywhere. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you that we have a YouTube channel, AnyWare Apps YouTube channel. When you visit the YouTube channel of ours, you'll see the playlist, and you'll also have a chance to watch and share previous webinar sessions about AnyWare Apps. You can watch, you can share with your team members, and it can be a resource for you to learn about applications that's available in AnyWare Apps family for you to automate and digitize business processes. My name is Kevin Devecioglu, and I'm with AnyWare Apps family. Today we'll be talking about how to manage corrective actions with quality assurance anywhere digitally with no need of paper. One of our expertise is digital transformational quality management. It is because we have been deploying quality assurance anywhere for more than 2 decades, and we have more than 1,000 customers available. That is why we have learned a lot about different quality and compliance management systems. There are different quality management and compliance management systems available in the marketplace. You may be in aerospace industry, you may be in automotive industry, you may be in healthcare industry. These industries, as you see on the screen, they have different requirements for compliance, for regulations, as well as for quality management. And it may be challenging for companies to address complying these regulations sometimes. They require a lot of recording, they require a lot of reporting. You need to be able to trace your activities, and you need to be able to prove that you are actually following this quality management system when the time comes for audits, inspections, for certification purposes. That is why we put together this proactive quality management framework. This framework, we believe, is a way to automate your quality management operations and to be successfully implement any quality management system in the marketplace, regardless of your industry. In our proactive quality management framework, we have 3 pillars. The first pillar is quality assurance. That is basically referring to your quality management system. You may be compliant with ISO 9001. You may be compliant with AS 9100 if you're in aerospace industry. Maybe you are a medical device manufacturer and you are compliant with ISO 13485. And you may be in construction industry, and maybe you are compliant with ISO 17025, maybe AISC. Maybe you need to also comply with OSHA and other standards, for example. So that is the system that you are following for quality management purposes. The second pillar is control. You need to put certain control points in your organization to make sure you are following the quality assurance system as you put together for your operations. Controls may be for manufacturing operations, maybe administrative operations, maybe for distribution, maybe for wholesale. Regardless of your industry, you need to have certain control points in your operations. Let's keep in mind that quality assurance system, quality management systems such as ISO, SQF, BRC, AS 9100, they don't only help you design a quality management system only for manufacturing operations. That's actually for entire company. These systems dictate how you are supposed to be organizing your quality management system for entire company operations. That is why you need to have control points in your administrative operations as well, for purchasing, for sales, for marketing, in addition to production, engineering, distribution, shipping, and logistic departments, for example. And with the help of control points and control activities, you'll have a chance to get feedback in terms of how you are doing, how the activities are going, and if there is any need for corrective action to improve processes. All these quality management systems that I have been referring to, ISO, AS 9100, SQF, BRC, they're all designed to help companies have continuous improvement culture in place. Also, with this, you'll have a chance to increase customer satisfaction, which is very, very important. Customer satisfaction can make positive impact on your sales as well as your profits in your organization. And here comes the third piece, which is quality prediction. We call it predictive quality management. That is referring to the utilization of modern technology, smart sensors, and IoT devices, for example. With the help of smart sensors, right now, remotely you can monitor your machinery, equipment, temperature, humidity of your work environment remotely without being there physically, especially nowadays during the COVID-19 crisis. Being able to manage your operations, especially quality management operations remotely is more important than ever before. That is why it is very helpful for companies to utilize technologies that can help improve business processes. So with the help of the predictive quality operations, thanks to smart sensors and other IoT devices, you can remotely monitor machinery, equipment, and you can take corrective actions based on the feedback that you are getting from there. And the way that we organize our AnyWare apps is just to help you follow the proactive quality management framework. We have Quality Assurance Anywhere. That's a quality, risk, audit, and compliance management software, which helps you comply with many different standards in a digital environment with no need of paper. We have Workflow Anywhere. That's an electronic business automation platform. With the help of Workflow Anywhere, you can digitize all your business processes, and you can have a paperless work environment. You can run your business processes in a digital environment, which is traceable, manageable, and reportable. We have Asset Management Anywhere. It is designed to help companies manage their assets, machinery, equipment, cars, trucks, facilities, field service operations. Fleet management is also part of Asset Management Anywhere. And finally, there is Asset Management Anywhere. Also, there is a module for energy management, which is very important for many different companies. Energy is an important element in operations available in the world and in the marketplace, basically. And finally, we have Contract Manager application powered by Workflow Anywhere. That is basically designed to help you manage your contracts in a digital environment with no need of paper, which is traceable, reportable, and you can always retrieve information anytime you like. And when we look at our AnyWare applications, they are designed to help companies adopt digital transformation. What is this digital transformation? When we look at the definition of digital transformation, it is basically designing company strategies and cultures to help companies take advantage, benefit from the opportunities available by latest technologies. So it is not necessarily about the technology. It is about actually the strategies and culture that you put in place to help your company benefit from the latest technologies. So that is how we design our Quality Assurance Anywhere, Asset Management Anywhere, and Workflow Anywhere products. They are open to communicate with other systems. All of our products on the screen right now, they are able to communicate and integrate with any IoT devices, manufacturing execution systems, CRM systems, any ERP systems also can be talking to Quality Assurance Anywhere, Asset Management Anywhere, and Workflow Anywhere to pull and push data. That basically helps you have an integrated work environment, management environment in a digital sense. Today, we like to also focus on how to perform corrective actions in a digital environment. Let's remember, all the quality management systems that I have been talking about, ISO 9001, ISO 14001, AS 9100, SQF, BRC, GMP, and many more. They are actually designed to help you have continuous improvement in place every day, anytime, anywhere. Also, they are designed to help you increase your customer satisfaction. So how do you improve your processes? If you think about it for a second. So for you to be able to improve your processes, you need to take corrective actions. And for you to be able to take corrective actions, you need to be able to get and take and have feedback. So there are different sources of feedback. You can get feedback from your customers. That may be a positive feedback. That may be a negative feedback. You may get feedback from your audits. You may have an internal audit. Maybe you are cross-auditing your departments. Maybe sales department is auditing production department. Maybe production department is auditing purchasing department. The idea is to have a fresh set of eyes to perform an audit to make sure policies and procedures in place based on the quality management system is actually followed by team members in that department. So these audits also, they're also a great source for corrective action opportunities because we are getting feedback. Incident management. Anytime there is an incident happens, any incident happens in your organization, say for manufacturing, for example, you can put together a report. You can also understand, analyze what happened, and you can find a way to improve your processes so that that incident will never take place again. You can get feedback from your suppliers when you do supplier evaluation. You may also have a 365-degree evaluation, perhaps. Not only for you to evaluate your suppliers, they can also evaluate you. So you can get more feedback for continuous improvement. Risk assessment studies are great sources for corrective action opportunities because you can get feedback based on your risk assessment studies. You can also conduct certain surveys. You may have surveys in place for your customers, for your suppliers, maybe for your stakeholders. So when you look at these set of sources for the corrective actions, there are many different opportunities that you can take to take corrective actions, basically. And it's not easy all the time. We have been talking to many different companies. We have been deploying quality assurance anywhere since 1998. We have deployed more than 1,000 quality management systems already, if you think about it. So we have seen a lot, we have learned a lot, and we are still learning, by the way. That's an ongoing process. So based on our observation and based on the reports that we have been getting from the customers, there are certain challenges to manage corrective actions. First of all, it is not always easy for companies to access data. One of the principles of any quality management system, especially ISO 9001, is making decisions based on evidence. Evidence as in data. So how do you get the data? If you are compliant with ISO, if you are compliant with GMP, if you are compliant with AS9100 on paper, it is very difficult for you to gather data, reliable data, and decide for corrective action. So having a central repository for corrective action analysis is a big challenge based on what we have been learning from the customers in the marketplace. Another challenge is documentation of the corrective action. So you need to have data to make right decisions for corrective actions, and you need to be able to also retrieve that data whenever you need. So you need a repository that you can actually access data anytime you need, and you need to be able to manage the records that you put together for corrective action. So that basically touches to document management, because all the quality management systems in place, that you need to have a document management system in place for record keeping. That is another challenge. Also, follow-ups are also challenging for companies. So you have data, you make a decision based on certain evidence. Based on the decision, you take a corrective action. Based on the corrective action, you are actually recording it, and that's actually maybe reportable, maybe retrievable in your own system. However, if you don't do follow-up, it is very difficult to make sure it is going to be continuous. So for you to perpetuate these improvements by taking corrective actions, you need to also have follow-up actions in place, which is very, very challenging for companies, especially if you are compliant with any quality management system on paper or spreadsheets or Word files. So these are challenges, some of the challenges we have been hearing, learning from companies in the marketplace based on our experience. So having said that, to address those challenges, we have quality assurance anywhere. As I mentioned earlier, that is how we design it. The way that we design quality assurance anywhere to help companies comply with any quality management system digitally in a paperless environment. By the fact that we have more than 1,000 happy corporate customers and more than 1 million professional users, that actually help us learn a lot about the marketplace as well as customers' challenges, and we are still learning about challenges of companies to address their challenges with quality assurance anywhere. With this solution, you can comply with more than one quality management system if you like. You may be complying ISO 9001. At the same time, maybe you are also complying with ISO 14000 for environment management. So you can manage more than one quality management system in this software. It is a web-based solution, meaning you can access this solution from anywhere as long as you have internet access, as long as you have a web browser. You can access quality assurance anywhere from anywhere. So that's very advantageous if you think about it. It is a permission-based system, so you decide basically who can see what part of the system, as well as who can do what, and it also has audit trails available. So if I get into quality assurance anywhere, and if I review certain documents, if I make certain changes in the system, in the data, for example, that is recorded and that's reportable, and you have a chance to know who is doing what in the system, which is a great advantage for quality managers, because typically if you are complying with any quality management system on paper or on spreadsheets, you have no idea what part of the department is complying with what part of the quality management system you have in place. With the help of Quality Assurance Anywhere, quality managers now finally they have a chance to take action, and they have a chance to take control of quality management systems implementation on daily basis, because you'll know who is using the system or who is not, which is a great advantage for quality managers to make sure everyone in the company, regardless of their department or title, following the rules, regulations, policies, procedures, and protocols in place coming from quality management system. When we move on, I also need to mention the system is ready to work on cloud as well as on-premise servers. So that's a great advantage for companies to decide any system, any basically infrastructure environment available in the marketplace or at the company. Quality Assurance Anywhere has a modular structure, meaning you don't have to get entire system. You can pick and choose what module you like based on the quality management system you are complying with. You may just get one module, you may get 5 modules, 10 modules, you may get 3 modules, you can add later on, that's perfectly fine. The idea is to make sure that you're addressing your quality management system requirements in a digital environment, in a manageable, in a traceable, in a reportable, and also in a safe and secure environment. Okay, great. So I have presented my piece. So I talked about Quality Assurance Anywhere. I also talked about digital transformation of quality management. I also presented to you Proactive framework of digital quality management. Proactive framework of quality management in a digital environment. So having said that, we'd like to also show you in action how you can use Quality Assurance Anywhere to manage corrective actions with no need of paper in a paperless environment.
Okay, and can you see my screen? It's waiting for.
Not yet.
Okay, let me pause it, and I'm going to share this again.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So now you can see my screen. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So thank you for joining today's webinar. And I want to show you how you can use Quality Assurance Anywhere to manage your corrective action in your company for complying with different quality management standards like ISO 9001, 13485, and so on. So this is the home screen after you log into my system. So you can find all your pending tasks and also the request for approval right after you log into the system. So it's helped you to, or it's make sure you will not miss any important tasks in quality assurance anywhere. And our system is a permission-based system, which means not everyone can see everything in our system, which means your permission will be based on your role, your position, profession, departmental group. And since now I'm logging in as the administrator, the admin, so that I have a full control of the system and I can find all the available modules in the system. Okay. And by the way, after you log in, you can always get a quick connection and start proceedings to requests or tasks that is shown in your homepage. Okay. And today, we will talk more and focus on the corrective action module, as known as the CAPA module, which is a very important thing that you have to manage for complying with ISO standard. So corrective action module, as known as the CAPA module, you can find all the corrective action records that you have saved in our system. And they're in different status, like result, review, open, follow-up, and so on right here. It's based on the progress that you're handling, the non-conformity that you record in the system. And I'm going to create a new record and show you how you can manage your non-conformity and also your root cause analyze corrective action accordingly in this corrective action module. So first of all, we have to pick and choose the corrective action source, which Kevin mentioned in his presentation. It can be coming from the customer complaint or feedback, the risk assessment, or incident management, or audit. So let's say we have our employee reporting this non-conformity, and also we can pick and choose the department, which is the department that we have recorded in our system. Also, we can pick and choose the location or department, considering that you have multiple locations for your company. After that, we can enter the non-conformity. For example, like out of spec product. Also, you have to enter the detail or the description of this non-conformity. So, for example, like the quality does not meet the customer requirement, for example. So that would be quality, okay? And after that, we have to pick and choose the non-conformity category. For example, why we have this non-conformity. So considering which aspect that we have this non-conformity, so we will put this into the, for example, like incorrect proposal, because we have a wrong proposal, and that's why we didn't meet the requirements from our customer, okay? And after that, we can assign this corrective action to a solution team, and this team has to file the first progress report and carry out the root cause analysis. What I will do is I'm going to assign myself as the team leader of the solution team. And if there's any attachment can be a reference for the solution team, you're more than welcome to upload this right here. So I'm going to upload my, for example, like the picture of the product, which means it is a liquid soap, and upload this and connect this to this new corrective action record. After that, we can save it, and it will be sent to the workflow that we have in our system. Okay. So now it is waiting for my approval, since I in this demo environment, I make myself as the approver of all the approval requests. And what I can do on my home screen is I can find this corrective action approval request right on my home screen. So after I log in, and then here's one, is the corrective action is waiting for approval, so that we can get a quick connection to it and start managing. For example, like the solution team, we can make sure they filed this correctly, and also review the attachment and make sure the information the user enter is correct. After that, we can save this and approve this corrective action request. So if you do not agree with the information that is put in this corrective action, you can reject it and enter your or we can approve it, and when we approve it, you have entered the reason why you approve this corrective action. Okay, so for example, like I'll confirm the non-conformity. Conformity happened during production, for example. Okay, so that we can approve it, and your approval note will be saved in the log of our system. So right now, we have assigned this corrective action to the solution team, and who is the leader, which will be me, the admin, so that I have to file the first progress report. So this is the record that we just created. So I can get a quick connection to it and generate or file my first progress report, which I can file my 5Y analyze. And in order to smoothen our demonstration, I am going to copy and paste the 5Y analyze right here. Okay, and after that, we can attach any document that we have. For example, like the PO number, or the PO, the purchase order that we have associated with this product. After that, we can save it, and this first progress report will be saved in our system. Later on, as the leader of the solution team, I have to pick and choose my root cause. For example, it is about the process that we have in our system. And we can add our description. For example, like lack of training procedures as a root cause, so that we will have a new root cause in our root cause analyze tape, and then the team has to carry out certain action in order to cope with this root cause. So now we can add a new one as a corrective action or preventive action. And also we can pick and choose the action performer. The reason why we separate the responsible person and also the action performer is to the action performer, they might perform certain action without any internet access, like they are having the action on the production ground, so that we will have a responsible person who will be the front line that we contact with regarding this corrective or preventive action. Also, we can define the action that we want to see in order to cope with this root cause, like put together the training policy and then set up the end date. For example, like he or myself, I'm going to have 2 weeks for managing or to carry out this corrective action. Okay, and also we have to pick and choose the root cause that we are dealing with, and after that we can save this, and in the system, the system will send a notification to the action performer and also to the responsible person for the action. As now I'm logging as the action performer, how I can find the action that I have to perform, you can find this right after you log in. And right here, you can see this is the action that we just defined. And after carry out certain action in your company, we have to update the status of this action by performing our action in the system, so that you have to put together what you have done. For example, like updated the training policy, and you can attach your updated training policy to this action or corrective action. So we have a new training policy here, and going to add this to our system and save it. The record will be updated and waiting for the solution team leader approvals. Again, how we can find the pending request for approval is on our home screen. So we can find this right here under this corrective action list, which will be closed, and have a quick connection to it. And at this point, we find that certain corrective action has been taken place in our company. And we can open another corrective or preventive action regarding this corrective action record, or we can open a follow-up action. The difference between the corrective or preventive action and also the follow-up action is about like the corrective and preventive action is help you to deal with the non-conformity that you record in this corrective action record. And to the follow-up action, we are trying to make sure this non-conformity will not happen again in your company in the future. Okay. So considering we want to have a follow-up action and make sure this non-conformity will not happen again in our company for coming 3 months. So we can create a new follow-up action and assign this to a responsible person, which will be myself in this demonstration, so that I can pick and choose the username, okay, and also the finish date. As I mentioned, I want to see if this non-conformity happened again within 3 months, so that we can set up the finish date as September 5th. Also, what you are going, you can share more supportive information to the responsible person, like make sure the non-conformity will not happen again for coming 3 months. Okay, and then we can add the attachment, which can be a reference for the responsible person as well, so that we can save it, and this follow-up action will be sent to the responsible person, admin, which will be my account again. So I can find the notification right on the home screen of the system, and also in my email inbox, so that I have to write my follow-up report regarding this corrective action record. So right here, I have to update the status and file to my follow-up report, considering like 3 months passed, so that nothing happened. So we can update in our follow-up report like nothing happened within these 3 months since I would say June 5th. June 5th, 2020. Okay, and then we can save it, and this follow-up record will be saved and sent to the approver. And at this point, I am always the leader of the solution team, so that I can review the follow-up action and also the follow-up report and close this corrective action record accordingly. So that what I have to do is confirm. We have to put our note for closing this corrective action record, like confirm this non-conformity have not happened again. Since I would say June 5th, excuse me, 5th, okay, 2020, okay. And then we can also put our corrective action course if it is applicable. For example, like $3,000 for rework or disposition, for example, and then save it and close this corrective action accordingly. And in the corrective action module, you can find the reporting tool, which allows you to create a ready-made report. For example, like the corrective action cost report, corrective action detail report, and also the corrective action report, which allows you to show to the auditor, for example, like the auditor of ISO 9001 of 13485. When the auditor come to your place and ask you to show the auditor like how you manage your non-conformity or corrective action in your company, so that you can retrieve the report and all the records that you have in quality assurance anywhere for managing your non-conformity and corrective action. In addition, you can use the graphical reporting tool and put the condition for your graphical report. Like you want to see how many corrective action records that we have filed in our system for certain customer, so that you can pick and choose the customer in this field and set up the time frame for this graphical report, saying we want to have an annual report, and draw our graph in our system. So right here, you will see the customer name and also the responsible department, for example. So you will have a better understanding how many corrective action that our department handles in the previous year. Your data will be shown in a bar chart and also in a table. And the thing is, the data, and also you can export your report into Excel, PDF, or image for sharing with any responsible parties. It's come to the end of my demonstration. Thank you for joining this webinar. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Sam, for the demonstration of quality assurance anywhere. Now we know how to manage corrective actions digitally on quality assurance anywhere. As you saw in the demonstration, now you have a chance to capture the opportunity for corrective actions. You can record it, you can analyze it digitally, you can collaborate with your team members, and based on this process, you can have a decision to take corrective action in a way that can help you improve your processes. You also saw in the demonstration that it is also easier to have follow-up actions in a digital environment to make sure corrective actions are actually being implemented after it is documented and officiated. And there are also different reports available that can be generated periodically, that can be generated when you have an auditor or inspector on site. These are great advantages. You can comply many different quality management systems, and you can manage your corrective actions digitally with quality assurance anywhere, as you have seen in the demonstration. Great demonstration, Sam. Thank you very much. Very, very insightful.
Anytime. Thank you, Kevin.
Appreciate it. Before we end our webinar, I'd like to remind you that we have a YouTube channel that you can visit, AnyWare Apps YouTube channel. When you go to our YouTube channel, you can click playlist and you'll see the list of recorded webinars in the playlist section. You can watch recorded webinars, you can share with your team members, and this is designed to be a resource for you to learn more about business process automation, quality management, asset management, workflow management in a digital environment. Our goal with AnyWare Apps is to help you have automated and paperless work environment. And we are here to help you improve your processes, help you become more productive at your companies, and help you comply with many different quality management and regulatory standards digitally in a paperless environment and easily. That is our goal, and we are determined to help you in any way possible with our product range. We have coming webinars I'd like to share with you. Next week, we'll be talking about the BRC standards, which is very common, very popular in food industry. And we'll be talking about how to comply with BRC standards in food industry with quality assurance anywhere. We'll be also talking about the following week, how to manage customer complaints digitally for compliance purposes with the help of quality assurance anywhere. The following week, on June 22nd, we'll be covering waste management and how to comply regulations and standards while you are managing your waste management operations digitally with the help of our system. And on June 29th, we'll be talking about supplier evaluation, supplier audit, which is very, very important for many different industries: aerospace, automotive, manufacturing, healthcare, pharma. All these industries are in a position of auditing and inspecting their suppliers periodically, regularly. So we'll be addressing how you can manage those activities digitally on quality assurance anywhere. So we invite you to register on our Eventbrite page. We encourage you, and we are looking forward to seeing you there. And also, as you see on the screen, we have our contact information. If you'd like to have one-to-one demo meeting with us for any of our AnyWare apps, please shoot us an email, info@anywareapps.com. We also have a phone number on the screen, so you can give us a call if you like, so we can have the conversation going. I'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for your interest. We are looking forward to seeing you in coming webinar sessions. Thank you very much and have a nice day.